I should have saved that title for this one. Hello everyone, Tomo here. And as you may or may not know, on this channel I like to discuss gacha games in a mostly positive light, as I think they're a gaming niche that have quite a bit of quality hidden under a pile of garbage monetization. But today I'm not gonna be singing the praises of the game I'm gonna be talking about, even though it does have some things to be praised, but not enough for me to change the direction of this video. So, Zenless Zone 0. TLDR, I'm quite disappointed. But before we talk about why that is, I will quickly list off what I actually like about the game so we can move on to what's giving me crippling depression. And that is... drumroll please... the art direction. Yeah, I know, totally original opinion, I get it. But there's virtually nothing I dislike about the art direction of this game, from animations to music, to the character designs and the world in this urban/retro early 2000s style, which is by far my favorite style of games or media in general like to go for, which means this game should be right on my alley, right? Well, my dear viewers, unfortunately you don't just look at games, you also play them, which is where all my problems with this game come from. God damn it, ZZZ, y'all had it so good! So, the game starts with one of the cooler intro sections I personally played that is almost fully told in this voice comic book sort of style. The reporter is swearing on live TV, the characters are being goofy, and it's all a pretty good time. And then, the Fire Nation attacked. Hoyo, what the f happened here? Unfortunately, the next 5 or so hours of the game are part of the prologue chapter, which was one of the worst things I think I've ever had to sit through in a game, let alone a Hoyoverse game. Except for that time we had to do taxes in Inazuma for god knows how long. The story wasn't even bad per se, it was alright I guess, but it consisted of incessant yapping for, again, 5 hours. And probably an hour of real gameplay total sprinkled in there. It was bad, I didn't want to do it, and to be honest I think it's perfectly valid if anybody just quit before they finished that. It was that bad, especially coming up that intro section that felt like it was written by people who actually respected your time and let you play the game. Let me spend a few words on the overworld really quick. I already said this looks great, but I have a few gripes. I wish the world was less closed off. I'm not asking for an open world, but there are so many loading screens and invisible walls, even just here in the supposed main hub of the game, which is 6th Street. I love the game's energy as I already said, and I find myself walking around just immersed. I love doing that on stream, just yapping while walking, which is great. 100% believe they were aware people would just sit around in the world, and so they went ahead and gave this game a day-by-day system where different activities can be done depending on the hour. But loading screens just kill my flow. Even if it is for only 5 seconds or less, it still stops my fucking immersion. The most blatant one is the one from 6th Street with the door to the video store. Like, really, we couldn't just have a door open here? Enough of that, let's move on to actual gameplay. The gameplay is actually extremely smooth. Whenever you cycle through characters, it doesn't even feel like you're actually doing it, which is neat. But I would say the game feels so smooth, it almost feels automatic. Hear me out. A lot of times it feels like I'm just mashing buttons and everything is working on its own. Especially whenever you trigger a chain attack, it stops the flow of your battle for you to pick whoever you're basically forced to switch into. And that can repeat quite a lot of times over the course of a battle, and it just feels quite boring. Also, before I forget, I need to go on a rant about Soldier 11. Okay, so the game has this function where you get tutorials with each character to know what they do and how to properly play them. And usually they do a fine job at explaining, but with Soldier 11 I think they just had someone fall down the stairs head first before writing it.
My ears burn!
So, Soldier 11 has this mechanic where if you press at the right time, basic attacks will go from physical damage to fire damage. Thing is, the right timing is not explained anywhere in the game, and you just have to go and watch some idiot on YouTube explain it to you, like yours truly. Okay, so we gotta press the button at the right moment, and by right moment I mean somewhat close to the end of the previous attacks. There's a slight delay on that position, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Was that so hard, Oyo? All in all, I think my previous video, although admittedly a bit clickbaity for a game that hadn't come out yet at the time, the preliminary assessment that I had made still holds true. I don't think this game is offering anything new in particular that other games haven't done before, and I don't see any strictly gameplay reasons that would have me playing ZZZ over Modern Ways for one, even though they're not quite the same genre, but ZZZ is clearly competing with it, so I'll be counting it. The 180 pulse, yeah, that was a scam. If you advertise 180 pulse on release and what I actually get is like 40 that I have to sit through hours and hours of yapping for, I'm not gonna be happy. So after all of this complaining, will I keep playing? Honestly, yeah, it's a fine enough game. It has a laundry list of problems that will hopefully be addressed, but it's still a fun game. And I also need to know for myself if the so-called long-term replayability they flaunt is actually there, and for that, I'll have to reach the true endgame. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. This video was basically just old man gameplays for 6 minutes straight, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Before you go, I would like to mention my Twitch channel. I've been streaming a lot more and I hope to stream tons more in the coming weeks. So make sure to drop a follow as I'll be having an actual streaming schedule soon enough. If you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, check out my other YouTube videos, do all the YouTube stuff you guys already know. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.